penalty. The law in the state of Florida requires that only first-degree murders where aggravation has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt can warrant the death penalty. And the law requires at least one aggravating factor to justify and warrant the death penalty. In this case, you have heard that all of the defendants in this case have more than one. Rashad Murphy has 4 aggravating factors. Davion Murphy has 4 aggravating factors. Sean Gathright has 2 aggravating factors. And Isaiah Chance has Sean Gathright has 3 aggravating factors. And Isaiah Chance has 2 aggravating factors. All of the defendants meet the requirements that warrant the aggravation which is required, that warrant the most severe sentence in the state of Florida. Last week, it was the state of Florida's burden to prove the elements of the facts of the case, the elements of first-degree murder, and all of the other charges beyond and to the exclusion of any reasonable doubt. This phase of the trial, we will prove the aggravation beyond all reasonable doubt. All of these aggravating factors have already been proven beyond a reasonable doubt by the evidence that you have already heard in the guilt phase. One of the aggravating factors not only has been proven by the evidence, but it is inherent in your verdict and already found by all of you to have been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm going to go through each of these aggravating factors that apply to each of the defendants. Starting with Rashad Murphy, that first aggravating factor, the defendant was contemporaneously convicted of another felony involving the threat of violence or the use of violence against another person. When you found Rashad Murphy guilty of 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder for the attempted murder of Gino Norris and Xavier Edwards and Camilla Bentley, in your verdict, you found and convicted him of another violent crime against another victim in this case. That is one of his aggravating factors. That is what aggravates this crime beyond a first-degree homicide. 3 additional victims of violent crime. Those count as one aggravating factor against Rashad Murphy. And it is inherently decided by all of you when you found and convicted him of those 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to many persons. Again, based on the facts and the evidence that has already been presented to you and proven to you in the guilt phase, Rashad Murphy, there is no doubt that he was one of the shooters. And the facts in this case shows that he created a great risk of death to many people. Again, your convictions for the 3 counts of attempted murder, second-degree murder of those 3 other victims show that there were other victims that were in danger of losing their lives. You have them firing, you have him firing into a vehicle of the victim in this case where there were 2 other people in his car with him who did get shot. You also have a vehicle behind him. His girlfriend, Charles Jones' girlfriend, she was parked behind him with 2 other passengers in her car. They were also exposed to death. He created a risk of death to many people. And let's not forget Camilla Bentley, who was in a car that was next to the victim, Charles Jones, when he was killed. Her car was fired upon, and she also was shot during the course of them trying to kill Charles Jones. But the risk to many people goes beyond all three of those additional victims that were shot and killed in this case. They fired on that victim in a hotel parking lot that was filled with guests, filled with cars. They knowingly decided to kill Charles Jones at that location, creating a risk of death to many people beyond the one that they killed, the three others that they shot, but to the guests and the employees of that hotel. And you heard directly from two other victims in this case, Audra Agramonte, who was in one of those hotel rooms where she was moving in her daughter to the University of South Florida, where her and her husband and her daughter's boyfriend all had to go down to the ground because bullets flew into their hotel room. You heard from Pablo Gabor how him and his family were in their hotel room and how bullets came into his hotel room. It is beyond all reasonable doubt that we have proven this aggravating factor as well against Rashad Murphy and against all of the shooters in this case. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to many persons. The third aggravator, Rashad Murphy, cold, calculated, and premeditated. Cold means that the murder was the product of calm and cool reflection. Calculated, having a careful plan or prearranged design. The period of time for premeditation must be long enough to allow for reflection. For this aggravating circumstance, the premeditation must be heightened. There is a substantial period of reflection that is required for this aggravator. And again, you have heard the facts of this case that show how cold and calculated this plan was to kill the victim in this case. And the final aggravating circumstance that has been proven against Rashad Murphy is that the capital felony was committed by a criminal gang member. You have already made a finding beyond all reasonable doubt that the defendant was a gang member or associate in a criminal gang, and that the defendant committed the crime for the purpose of benefiting, promoting, or furthering the interests of that criminal gang. How the aggravating factor is different from the enhancement that you made during the guilt phase of this trial is that the enhancement allows for either a criminal gang member or a criminal associate. The aggravator only applies if the defendant is a criminal gang member. And again, the facts in this case proven beyond all reasonable doubt is that Rashad Murphy was indeed a criminal gang member. And the distinction between a member and an associate is the number of criteria that they meet. An associate only has to have one. A criminal gang member has to have two criteria, or meet the criteria for the criminal gang statute to be recognized under the law as a criminal gang member. And for Rashad Murphy, there were 3 different criteria that he fell under. He definitely was proven to be a criminal gang member pursuant to the criminal gang statute. Davion Murphy. Davion Murphy has all of the same aggravators that we have just gone through and went over for Rashad Murphy, that he was contemporaneously convicted of another felony involving the use of violence to another person. And again, you have already convicted him beyond and to the exclusion of all reasonable doubt of 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder. The defendant, who was a shooter in this case, knowingly created a great risk of death to many persons, cold, calculated, and premeditated, and that he was a criminal gang member when he committed this capital felony. And again, he had met three of the criteria of being a criminal gang member. There is no reasonable doubt that he was a criminal gang member and that he committed these crimes to benefit the interests of a criminal gang. Sean Gathright, there are 3 aggravating factors: that he was convicted of a felony involving the use or threat of violence to another person. Again, he was a shooter in this case, and he was convicted of 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to many persons. Again, as a shooter, he exposed not just the victim to death, but all 3 of those other victims who were shot and could have died, as well as all of the other individuals in the victim's party that were in those vehicles and in the line of gunfire. And those victims that were in the hotels that also were in the line of gunfire. The last defendant, Isaiah Chance, also has the aggravating factor of cold, calculated, and premeditated, and that the capital felony was committed by a criminal gang member. Again, he had 4 different criteria that he met to prove that he was a criminal gang member. We anticipate and expect that you will hear from each of the defendants and that they will present to you evidence of mitigation. And just as Judge Sisko has instructed you this morning, you will independently look at each of the defendants separately and evaluate the aggravation and the mitigation individually for each defendant, and then make a decision as to what the appropriate sentence will be. Again, you will be instructed that the law neither compels you or requires you to recommend a death sentence. However, the law does require that you as a juror determine the weight of the aggravators and the mitigation for each defendant in this case. You decide how much weight to give the aggravators in this case. You decide how much weight you are going to give the mitigation that each defendant presents to you. And they have to prove their mitigation by the greater weight of the evidence. And each of you will decide whether or not they have met that burden and how much mitigation you are going to, how much weight you are going to give their mitigation. And again, this is not a mathematical equation. It is about the quality of evidence. The law requires a death sentence is only warranted in a first-degree murder case where there is at least one aggravating factor that has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. There is no more difficult decision as a juror in a criminal case than a juror will ever have to make than to determine whether or not a death sentence is warranted. But in this case, as to each defendant, there is more than one aggravating circumstance that has been proven beyond any reasonable doubt. And all of the defendants, all of them, have the aggravating factor of cold, calculated, and premeditation. This is a first-degree premeditated murder that is heightened. This is a senseless killing. I submit to you the facts that you heard during the guilt phase show how the victim was executed with cold, calculated precision. This was heightened premeditation beyond what is required for premeditation. The evidence showed and proved that there was a significant time of reflection, thinking about how to commit first-degree premeditation. They thought about it, and the evidence shows how much they planned all of the details, how they carefully planned all of the details. They made travel arrangements. They acquired weapons in advance. They acquired ammunition in advance. They planned and decided how they would look and what they would wear so that they could get away with murder. They acquired masks, dark clothing. They discussed how they would communicate with one another, who would not be using their devices, carefully planning how and where and who would do what. Those are strong evidence beyond all reasonable doubt of how aggravating this homicide is and what separates it from any other first-degree homicide. And after you have weighed all of the aggravation and the mitigation, we will ask you individually to recommend the death penalty against each and every one of the defendants in this case.